Hello everyone, I'm Bernard here from the xcode tutor. In this tutorial, I'm going to be starting with the Hello World application. So to start off with, let's go to the interface builder to build the user interface. As I told you before, go to the main menu.xib under the interface builder files, and they appear like this. So first of all, we need to get the objects in this window. Basically in this application we need a button and a text field, and when the user presses the button the text field shows hello world. So this is the simple application I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial. So start off with get a button, and to get a button go to your library. If you don't see your library, go to tools and click at library here, and when your library window appears, and go down to the search bar here and type button button, and you can see push button, round texture button, so many buttons are there. You can just click whatever you want. I'm just going to do the push button. Just so to get the object into your window, double click it and drag it to your to your window anywhere you want, and I'm going to be keeping it here. So to rename it, just double click it, and I'm going to be naming it as click me. And now we need a text field. Go again to the search field, delete it, and write text field. Okay, now you can see text field here, and it says displays text that the user can select or edit and blah blah blah. So text field, double click it and come here my child. So take it to your window, place it above click me, and I'm going to be resizing it to fit there. Okay, so now we have got our objects into our window. Now we need something called an object, called an NS object, which holds all the programs from the window. So to get the object, go again to the library, delete it, and search for NS object, and you get it. Drag that object and drag it to your main menu.xib window here. In this window, do not drag it to here, and actually you cannot drag it there. So drag it here, and by clicking it, go to tools and click inspector, and your inspector window will appear here. Now select your object and go to this I button at the last, and you can see class called NS object. Now I'm going to be naming it as hello world controller. Okay, and you can see the name has been changed to hello world c.dot because the file is too long, the name is too long. So now the hello world object has been created, and it will help us to hold the programs and controls. Now the object doesn't have any programs and controls. It asks us, so okay, you have created me, and but you didn't tell what should I do now. The object is asking us. So we have to set actions and outlets for the hello world controller. Actions are basically nothing, but when the user presses anything in the window, it sends some action to the controller. So sending of a file from the window to the objects called actions, and when the functions come to the hello world controller, it shows something. I mean it what's say it gives some functions to other files, and when the file gets something from the controller, it's called outlet. So to go to actions and outlets, go into your library and go to classes, and down here search for the class name, which name, remember we named it hello world controller. So as you can see, comes up here, select it and go to actions. Now the action in our window is the button, because when the user presses the button only, it gives the functions to the object. So I'm going to be naming the action as push button, and the outlet is the text field, because when the user clicks the button, we need to give the text field the hello world. So I'm going to be naming the outlet as text field. Okay, now the controller knows that it has some action called the push button and the outlet called text field. But now the controller will ask us, okay, you set the actions called push button and the outlet called text field. Now what is the text field and what is the action called push button? But only the programmer knows that the button is the push button and the outlet is text field, and we have to set the controller to these two. So to do that, uh, click at the click at the object and go to your inspector, tools inspector, and click at the connections inspector, which is the arrow mark here, and you can see the outlet text field received actions push button. So now we have to connect the text field with this text field and push button with this button. So to do that, you can see a round thing here. Click it and drag it till the text field, and the push button is a button, so click at the round and drag it to your button. So now we all set in the what I mean in the interface builder. Now we have to go into the xcode and we have to program it. So one final thing in this tutorial, I'll be saving it, and we have to write files so that we can program in it. So to write files, make sure you press the hello world controller and go to files, write class files, and you can see hello world controller because we named the object like that, and make sure create.h file is checked and click save. Click at the tutorial 4 and click add. So that's all for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial I'll be going into the coding, so stay tuned.